These are two light up ninja sword toys that I purchased on eBay. So they were about 10 bucks for both of them, which is pretty inexpensive, and that included shipping to the US, so not too bad. And the reason I got them is because, well, they're laser swords, and they are, very lightsaber-like because they light up and they have colorful blades. So I just wanted to check that out and kind of see how they compare to some other laser swords and other lightsaber toys that I've seen for this channel. Maybe you've seen them too. So here they are. They're pretty cool, actually. So one of the first things that I like isn't related to the sword directly. I really like that they come with the scabbard. Each of them comes with a scabbard. That's so cool because you can kind of sheath the sword like this and do a dramatic draw. And kind of channel your inner samurai or inner Jedi samurai, whatever mashup character you may want to be. So that's kind of neat. I like that a lot. And also, if we look a little bit closer at, these actual swords, well, first of all, we can see that the blade itself has a color, a different color. So one of them is red, one of them is kind of this highlighter green. And at least when I purchased these, I didn't have any control over the colors that I got. So I wasn't sure that I would get a green one and a red one. That's what I ended up with. So I don't know if you could end up with two green, two red. I think they may also have a blue. But I'm happy with what I ended up with. Now, if we look at the blade a bit closer, so we have kind of the outer color to the blade, and then inside of the blade, there's this kind of small tube, and that's where the lights are. And so I'll turn these on in a little bit, but the illumination comes from here. And other than that, we have kind of the suka or the handle to the lightsaber right here, the grip area. And it's, mostly black in design with these kind of grayish, I think it's maybe gray, maybe a little whitish, for these diamonds in the grip. And then we have kind of this very basic Suba or handguard right here. And so, yeah, both of these have the same pattern. The only difference, between these two, I was going to call them lightsabers. They're not lightsabers. The only difference between these two light-up ninja swords is the blade color. But other than that, we have the speaker here, and then this is the switch to turn them on. So I think it's about time to turn them on, right? So let's see. Let's go with this red one first. Okay, so when I turn it on, there's no sound. It will make some sound once I move it. So it makes kind of this metallic kind of sword-like sound, rather than, like a lightsaber-y sound. It sounds like kind of two blades maybe kind of slicing. Kind of makes maybe two sounds. And then there's no clash response. So there's no it's just like, motion sensitive when you move it around. And there is a little bit of a lag. So let's turn on this other one. So you see it, or you hear it makes the same sound. Okay, they've settled down a little bit. Now, what you can see, through the video as well, these are nice and bright, so that's a good feature. I know some lightsabers that I've reviewed, lightsaber toys in particular, and both laser swords, so lightsaber-like things, and actual licensed lightsabers, they're not always super bright, but these are quite bright. And I think you can get a little bit of a sense of that. And it certainly helps that the blade, it's sort of like a day blade, right? So it has this kind of red shell to the blade as well, and that really accentuates the color. These are pretty loud, for better or for worse. I'm going to turn them off now. They're pretty loud, which is good or bad depending on how you look at it. But they do seem to be a pretty fun toy, lots of play value. I mean, and they do look cool, even when they're not illuminated. And so it really is kind of like a lightsaber with a day blade here, right? So it just looks kind of like a nice, colorful, bright sword, even if I haven't activated this, turned this on, so I get the sound and the light. So that's a cool feature as well. But they're a pretty cheap thing, and they're not super high in quality, okay? But for $10 for two of them, that's not too bad, and they definitely have some good play value to them. So this has just been kind of a look at some light up ninja swords that I got on eBay. They're sort of these lightsaber-like laser swords, but yeah, they're just kind of some inexpensive laser sword toys. So here they are.